From the KDLM studios in Detroit Lakes, it's Hodge Podge with Carol McCarthy, presented by Partnership for Health and now airing on TV3.
Today on Hodge Podge, I've got a number of guests joining me live in the studio. A little bit later, we'll be talking to Becker County Administrator Mike Brethorst and hear more about the census, 2020 census that is going to be underway very soon. Looking for a few people who will step up and maybe be a part of the census this year. And more on the budget and levy that was passed by commissioners, the preliminary budget and levy that was passed by commissioners yesterday at their second meeting of the month at the courthouse. But first, we've got Andy Castaneri in the studio with us this morning, and he's from Detroit Lakes Fire Department, and he has a special event coming up in October that he wants to tell us more about. Good morning, Andy.
Good morning, Carol.
You've got a run. Is it a first-time run here?
Yes, this is a brand new event for us. It's going to be called the Stop, Drop, and Run 5K, 10K. I should emphasize walk run. It's not just a run.
Okay.
But it'll be on Saturday, October 12th at 8 a.m. Registration's now open for it. It's $25 for the 5K, $35 for the 10K.
All right.
And it'll be starting directly from the fire station. And then the routes will run through town. The 5K kind of goes through town and the business district, and the 10K goes along the Westlake Drive area down to the bowling alley, back to there. So
okay, that's a good course.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's the 5K, 10K. I love the type name of it. Stop, drop, and run.
Yeah, we thought it was kind of clever. So.
And this is to raise funds for the fire department, obviously.
Yes, fire departments. We're always fundraising. So we sat down to try to come up with a new idea, something that's going to engage the community and something that's going to, be fun and to fill kind of a void in the fall where there's not a lot of things going on. So,
right.
And this caps off our fire prevention week. So that week leading up to this, we'll be out at the schools doing our visits there and doing the station tours. And our open house is the Wednesday prior to that on the 9th. So,
okay,
kind of tied it into the fire prevention theme, and
perfect way to culminate.
Good way to end it.
All right. So this is happening October 12th. So a good time of year for this. 5K, 10K, stop, drop, and run. Detroit Lakes Fire Department. It starts at 8 o'clock in the morning. And then people are able to pre-register.
Correct. You got to register online. We do not have any paper registration or physical registration, but you can register. There's links on our Facebook page, which is Detroit Lakes Fire Department. We have a website, which is DetroitLakesFire.com. So you can go to either one of those, and there's links to get to the registration page. And it's a real easy process.
Okay. And can people register the day of?
They can. Our registration will be cut off on September 28th in order to guarantee you the finisher's medal and T-shirt.
Okay.
But we can definitely take registrations right up until the minute the race starts. So
I mean, you're going all out with a T-shirt and medal, so that's pretty cool.
Somebody's going to come out and donate a little money to us and come do the hard work of running. We figured they better get something for it.
Yeah, you might as well. All right, so check it out. It is the 5K, 10K. It's a stop, drop, and run. Detroit Lakes Fire Department sponsor and a great fundraiser for them in the fall. And Andy Castaneri is in the studio with us this morning. And just a quick question for you, Andy. The department, you've got some new recruits now working through the process of becoming full-fledged firefighters. But if anybody would like to check out the fire department or apply to be a firefighter, what do they need to do?
Yeah, we have a few spots open right now, but like you said, we do have some probationary members that we're trying to get up to speed, so we kind of like to space things out like that. But if anybody is interested, we always take applications. They can go to the city office on Roosevelt Avenue and pick up an application there, or you can get it through the website, which I believe is cityofdetroitlakes.com. And we'll be in contact. We do, periodically throughout the year, we test applicants and take them on from that process.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
So a great way to support our fire department is to participate in the Run Walk that's coming up on October 12th. And they always do a great job, and volunteer fire department in Detroit Lakes. So thanks for all the service that you do, and looks like we're going to have some fun on October 12th.
You bet.
Okay, thanks, Andy.
Thanks, Carol.
And we're going to take a break, and when we come back, Mike Brethorst coming up from Becker County next.
Now, back to Hodge Podge with Carol McCarthy on KDLM Detroit Lakes.
Welcome back to Hodge Podge this Wednesday morning, 18th day of September 2019. I'm back in the studio this morning with Mike Brethorst from Becker County Administrator. Good morning, Mike.
Good morning, Carol. It's great to be here.
Yeah, great to have you. And we're in the middle of September, heading into the fall season, and some of the things, of course, that the commissioners are working on. We've got the budget and levy that is in the works, as many local governments at this time of year set their maximum levy and budget and get ready for that final approval in December.
Right. Becker County did yesterday. We did adopt our levy, our preliminary levy. And again, the preliminary levy is the levy that you set to back into from here. So what's going to be happening is we did adopt a 2.99%. The goal was 3%. So we came in under. So good Becker County. But now what we have to do is we really have to get to work. Is where we have to figure out the true needs for the commission and for the overall operations for the county. And so what will happen is now each of the subcommittees, we have a highway committee, we have a sheriff committee, we have multiple committees. And now each of these organizations or groups are going to really figure out what they truly want to present to the full commission for that consideration. But Health and Human Services has done a great job this fiscal year projected into 2020. They were able to secure additional funding from federal programming aid to help us in our operations for our Health and Human Services program. So really pleased with their efforts, and it's just, and also in our highway department, we have some very big priorities for next year. We have a big construction year projected for the year 2020, as well as there's been some concerns and frustrations with people about some ditch repair and ditch maintenance and ditch mowing. And so we're actually going to be looking at that in the coming year as well, to try to improve that and to make it a little bit more, Becker County, what we've come used to. So.
Okay. Well, Mike, how do things like the smart tax figure into projections? I mean, is that something that you consider as you set the new budget and the levy?
Absolutely, it does. So we've been very fortunate. Our smart tax, or it's our tax that we place to strictly dedicated for road improvements. Now, those dollars have been about $2.5 million. We've been seeing that trending over the past couple of years, between 2.1, 2.3, 2.4, depending on the economy and how sales go. And those things directly relate to our road projects. So we're able to do more with that. We're able to widen out shoulders. We're able to do seal coats more often with these additional dollars. So that's why it's so incredibly important that we manage these funds in such a way that allows us for a long-term maintenance on these roads. Because without that, we wouldn't have the little wider. We just did a road project here this year. We had an additional 2 feet to the side to the side of the road. Without those smart tax dollars, we wouldn't have been able to do that. So we made the road safer because of that.
Okay. How about now? We just got through the building of the new jail, which was the major project for years. Do we have any major projects that will affect the budget in 2020?
Well, there is. We are talking very seriously about a joint highway building with the City of Detroit Lakes, or as well as just the highway department for Becker County. We're also talking about partnerships with the library, the museum. The museum is a big project and a priority for the county as well. The county pledged $1 million to help with the construction of that project if that becomes a reality. So that's a big thing coming up next year. We also are talking very seriously about a new impound facility for the sheriff's office. However, that's going to be contingent upon some other things occurring, but those are the big projects that we have coming up in the next calendar year. There's also going to be some very good conversations about our recycling center as well. There's some space constraints out there that we're under, as well as obligations that we potentially received a grant to become a mattress recycling center. And so with that, we would have to expand our facility. And so that's going to be a conversation we're going to have in the coming months as well.
All right. So lots of meetings and kind of whittling down department budgets between now and December.
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
And the final, I guess it used to be called the Truth in Taxation hearing. That will be in December 12th, I think.
It sure is. It sure is. And that's really where we try to really reflect about the, between now and then, about what the priorities are for the county. And so we're going to get there, and we're going to do the best we can, and we have to do it below that 2.99%. So some of the good news, though, as well, with this 2.99%, we did have overall growth in the county as a whole. We've had new homes built. We've had new commercial properties being built. Yes, there were some incentives to make these things become a reality. But because of that, and those ones that didn't need that as assistance, the capacity has grown, which has allowed basically the pie to get bigger. And so the overall burden on the individual property tax holders is slightly a little less. So that's a good thing as we continue to see economic growth in Becker County.
All right, Mike Brethhorst is the Becker County Administrator in the studio with me this morning. Another thing that the Becker County is working on, of course, is the 2020 census. And of course, all counties around the state and the country are doing so. But you have a special guest with you this morning to tell us a little bit more about the work in the county. Yeah,
so this is truly a partnership. We have to do this with all organizations, with the citizens, as well as our local initiatives that we work with. So we actually brought in a ringer with us. And so I'm going to turn it over to her and let her talk about this census.
All right. And Jill Amundsen is in the studio with us this morning. Good morning, Jill.
Good morning. Thanks for having us.
Yes. So tell us a little bit about what you've been working on here in the county and your work with the census.
So I am from West Central Initiative, working with a lot of the counties, with Becker County just starting a complete count committee for the census. As most people know, it happens every 10 years. It affects federal funding. So there's $675 billion that is appropriated from census numbers from the federal government. In Minnesota, that is approximately $2,800 per person counted per year. So $28,000 in the 10 years that these numbers will be good for. So it's really important that everyone takes part in the census, that they're filling out their survey, that they're making sure people who might not have access or traditional access apply this year. And this, for the first year ever, we're allowed to do the census online. So April 1st of 2020, that link will go live, and it takes about 10 minutes to fill out the form.
Okay. And again, so what you also work with, as you mentioned, is that if people don't have the option to go online and maybe they just didn't know about it, there are those people that will be going out and door knocking.
Absolutely. Enumerators.
Yeah.
And there is some information out there on how to make sure the person at your door is an enumerator. They will wear a census badge, be carrying a bag that has U.S. Census on the side of it. You can also look them up online, ask them for their name and badge number, and you can go to the website, ask them to come back tomorrow, look them up, make sure they are a census worker, and they will return and take your information that way. A good thing to note also, in smaller communities that are getting their mail only by post office box delivery, those forms come directly to your door. So an enumerator will slap that on almost every entrance of your home to make sure that you are reached.
Okay.
And you are able to fill out that form either online by invitation or an actual paper form.
Okay. All right. So then I suppose you do need some local people to be enumerators.
We are looking for about 382 applicants in Becker County alone. Mm-hmm. And they're very flexible. They're well-paying jobs. The starting wage is $14 an hour. And that covers training is provided to you on clock time, as well as mileage reimbursement for any travel you endure.
Okay. So what kind of hours are we talking about? And the training, when does that start?
Immediately. So you can apply online. It's very flexible. So if you only have 5 hours to give in a week, you can apply for just that 5 hours. If you want to work a Saturday instead, they will take flexible shifts, flexible hours. Right now it's address checking to make sure that addresses are accurate still, that the number of dwellings, like if it's a large house, but it's actually 3 apartments, those types of data pieces. And then, of course, the traditional census jobs that we think of, the enumerators, the mailbox drops, those types of things.
Okay, very cool. So the word is out. They need some folks to work with the 2020 census. And it's great because you want the local people, people who know the community and people know them, especially for those people to maybe check out a position with the census.
Absolutely. If you're a retiree and looking to pad a vacation fund or something like that, please help us do your civic duty and apply for a job with the census.
All right. Yeah. No better than get paid to do it. So
absolutely.
All right. Very good. So we've got some information on the 2020 census. and you can apply today and get started. And like Jill was talking about, that information is used multiple ways. Every once in a while we do get census reports from the last census, and just get the funding for the area. That's how things work. Making sure that people fill out clearly, and I guess that's what it's all about, is to count the people and see what's out there, and possibly turn it into funding for certain projects or certain areas and in need.
And another thing to note is that the results of the census, those private data, names connected to dollar amounts and things, are kept under strict lock and key for 72 years.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So we have a lot of people that are concerned about government having access to that information, and we've been told it's actually easier to get into the White House than it is to get into the Census Bureau. I think only 10 people have access to that individualized data.
Okay. That's very important, because we do hear about scams these days, and it's very important to know that it is very secure, a very secure process. All right. Jill, thank you so much. Jill Amundsen, working with the 2020 Census and from West Central Initiative. And thank you so much. And also Mike Brethhorst from Becker County in the studio with us this morning. He is the Becker County Administrator. Mike, I'm going to have you step back up to the microphone, please. And we are going to talk a little bit more about some of the things going on in the county. You had mentioned recycling, the recycling center, looking at things through the budget process, but also the optic sorter is now up and running.
Right. Yeah. This is a really big deal for Becker County and its citizens. And we're able to increase our productivity and to be able to sort out the multi-stream recycling that does come in and turn it into single stream. And the reason that's important is because you can then turn around and we can sell that commodity and get a higher rate of return for the dollars and efforts that we do to that. So after we're done here today, I'm going to hop in the vehicle. I'm going to drive out there for a little bit and see how those operations are working out. And it's a slow process to get it up and running, but it's purring along as of right now, I've been told. And so we're really pleased about those efforts.
All right. And some other things going on in the county. We just have a couple more minutes left here. But also you have a few job openings in the county. I know that we will be seeing the retirement of an assessor.
Yes, Steve Carlson, that guy. We're so fortunate to have him on our team for as long as we have. And he's announced his retirement. Mm-hmm. Reluctantly, he says, but it's good for him, and congratulations. But we are actively seeking a new county assessor. And so the applications are open. I believe first review is next week, if I'm not mistaken, the 24th. And then we will start those interview processes and try to get a new county assessor on the books.
Okay.
So we have some great staff there. It's the organization as a whole. We try to really standardize the processes, and we try to work with our local assessors as well to ensure that they understand what the expectations are for standardization, and trying to make sure that lake shores are calculated the same way as other areas. So it's very important that we have those conversations. All
right, very good. And any other employment would be listed on the Becker County website?
Yeah, we're looking for a part-time cashier. So this is a permanent part-time, so guaranteed hours up in the county auditor's office. And we're also looking for volunteer drivers, like always.
Okay. Very good. Mike Brethhorst from Becker County, and also Jill Amundsen from West Central Initiative, working with the 2020 Census. Thank you guys so much for coming in today. And that's going to wrap up Hodge Podge for today. I'm Carol McCarthy, KDLM.